In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to put fractions into simplest form. So sometimes we might see the word like, please put your answer in simplest form on a worksheet or on an assignment. We also might see some other words besides simplest form. We might see the word simplify, reduce, or lowest terms. All of these mean we're going to be putting our fraction into simplest form. What does that mean? What's simplest form mean? Simplest form means that the numerator and the denominator are in the lowest possible equivalent fraction that we can have. It has the smallest numbers of any equivalent fraction. Remember, to make an equivalent fraction, we can multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. So we have 2/3 is also equal to 4/6. I could multiply it by another number. I could multiply it by 3/3. I could get 6/9. All of these are equivalent fractions. But 2/3 is in simplest form because I have the lowest possible numerator and lowest possible denominator out of all of our equivalent fractions. So let's practice doing that. So we multiply to make larger numerators and denominators. So conversely, we're going to divide to make lowest terms or simplest form of our fractions. So let's practice with some fractions. Let's practice with the fraction 5/10. 5/10 is not in simplest form, and I'll tell you some ways that I know. I know that 5 is a factor of 10. All right, and we're really going to be going back and looking at those factors. Remember back from the fall when we learned about factors, we made some factor t-charts, we made lists of factors, numbers. Let's take a look at our factors of 5, and we're going to take a look at our factors of 10, and we're going to see what they have in common and to see if we can reduce this. So 1 times 5 equals 5. For 10, I have 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. So they both share a factor of 5. And remember, we know from talking about prime and composite, all numbers share a factor of 1. So we're not going to worry about 1 when we're reducing or simplifying our fraction. So what I'm going to do is, because we share this factor 5, that's our greatest common factor, we're going to divide the top and the bottom by 5. 5 divided by 5 and 10 divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So simplest form of 5/10 is 1/2. Simplest form is 1/2. I divided them both by their greatest common factor. Let's try another example. How about 3/6? 3/6. Oh no, you know what? Not 3/6. Let's try 4/6. All right, I'm going to look at 4/6. And I'm going to notice that both of these, the numerator and the denominator, are both even numbers. They're both even. And remember that all even numbers have a factor of 2. So if you don't know a common factor and you have 2 even numbers, you can always divide by 2. Have a factor of 2. Whoops. They all have a factor of 2, all even numbers. So let's divide both 4 and 6 by 2. 4 divided by 2, 6 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 2/3, and now I'm going to look, 2 and 3 do not share any common factors. In fact, they're both prime numbers, so I know that this is simplest form because they don't share any more factors with each other. 2/3 is our simplest form. Okay. Let's try another example. How about 6/18? 6/18. Well, let's try our factor t-charts again. 6, 1 times 6, 2 times 3. Okay, I like to set up our factors in this little t-chart. It helps me keep them organized. 18. I know 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6, 4 is not a factor of 18, 5 is not a factor of 18, 6, we're back to 6, so we've got all of our factors. Let's see what they have in common. They've got a 2, they've got a 3, and they have a 6 in common. If I want to divide by a number and get the smallest answer, I'm going to divide by my greatest common factor. So I want to pick the largest number that they have in common, which is 6. I'm going to divide both of these by 6. That means I only have to divide once, my greatest common factor. 6 divided by 6 equals 1. 18 divided by 6 equals 3. So my simplest form, or my lowest terms, is 1/3. Okay, let's try one more example, and then I'm going to let you work on your problems on your own. About 9/21. That's a big denominator. 9/21. Let's put this in simplest form. So I'm going to find my factors of 9. I'm going to find my factors of 21. I'm going to see what greatest common factor they have in common. 9 is 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. Those are all my factors of 9. 21 is 1 times 21 and 3 times 7. No other factors of 21. So the greatest common factor that they have is 3. So let's divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So 9/21, an equivalent fraction is 3/7, and this is simplest form for 9/21. All right, so again, the steps are: find your greatest common factor, list your factors of both of your numerator and your denominator, find your greatest common factor, and then you're going to divide your numerator and your denominator by your greatest common factor to find your simplest form.